makes most women start a business? Is it passion, money, or freedom? Welcome to Female Founders, the podcast that takes you behind the scene with women who are founders and CEOs to help you start and scale a successful business of your own. I am your host, Nagelia de Ravin. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Female Founders. In this episode, we are going to have a conversation with an authentic female founder. Her name is Annie Leib, founder and CEO of Annie Leib LLC and co-creator of the Breathe framework. Annie is on a mission to bring a change in society and help others understand who they are. I am excited to have this conversation with Annie and to learn more about the Breathe framework. Let's go have a real conversation with this incredible female founder. Hi Annie, it's a pleasure to have you here with us today. I am so excited to learn about you. It's like the one thing I love with you is the fact that you are real. Even when I visit your website, when I watch your videos, I feel like I'm talking to you in person. It's like you're right here in front of me. It's like the real you. It's amazing. It's not every day you meet people like yourself that's like, let me get ready for the camera, let me go all these things. Good morning, everybody. Welcome here. You're talking to a whole total different person, and when you meet when you actually get to meet that person in real life, it's like, was you in that video? Was somebody else? But with you, it's like you feel it. It's the real you. It's like even on your websites, watching your YouTube videos. I love the one that when you were getting interviewed by the other girl because I'm presenting the book, it was just like the funniest way ever when you were saying, well, this time I'm going to try my best not to be the host, but just in case I end up being the host, I'll try to switch myself back to being the guest. And I was laughing my ass off. And it was just so funny. And I just love the opportunity to actually meet someone unique as you. Because I look at you as a unique coach, the way you do things. So I just cannot wait for you to tell me the backstory that guides you to actually be when you talk about soul center and all these things. Let's start from the beginning. How did you get into all that?
Oh, thank you so much for all the complimentary words and the kind words. I appreciate it. I'm excited to meet you too. And thank you, because that is exactly what I want to get across. When it comes to me, if I can say anything about me, it's I'm in my truth and I'm authentic. So I want people to feel me as the authentic, raw me all the time. In 2014, at one of the lowest points in my life, I was signing my divorce papers and it was just a really bad time. And I looked at the wall and there was a Ralph Waldo Emerson poem on the wall and it said something about breath. And I'm like, you know what? In this moment, you can take everything from me. You can strip me of everything, but you can't take that. My breath is mine. And I went, and 5 minutes later, I went to a tattoo place in Philadelphia and I got it tattooed on my hip. I wrote it on a napkin and they wrote it on my hip. So that was just for me, hidden away. And I just thought, as this day going forward, that word is going to be very important to me. Fast forward, I go back to school to get my executive MBA. And I knew there was a gap in the coaching world. And I found out through coaching some people in my cohort in school that the gap was really that personal development and professional development were never meshed in the corporate world. It was just professional development. So it wasn't considering the whole person. So I came up with this modality called the Breath framework. Breath is an acronym. As I said, how important that word is to me, but this is why I used the word. Breath is B is for begin where you are. R is reclaim your power. E is excavate your core values. A is allow. T is through, and H is heal. So it actually takes you from your begin to your heal. And when you're in your healing part, you get to a place which I've coined the soul center. And that's your place of passion-driven purpose, wholeness, aligned with your core values, and personal freedom. That's what being in the soul center is. And that's where I am now through my journey from 2014 to present day. I am in my truth and in my soul center.
Oh my goodness. So it's come from having a divorce to, and I can imagine that you being with someone and just like that, it's like, okay, goodbye, it's all over.
Yeah,
And
it's just it's a trying time. Even if it's something that you want, it's a hard time, you know,
yeah,
and
it
it was a
is.
very low time for me, but it came with so many challenges and then this leap forward through this journey to this place of being soul-centered and being and constantly evolving and healing. And so it was a blessing as hard as it was.
Yes. But you know what? Not everyone would have taken it that way. You know, do you know how many people that go through things that you went through in life, and then just, I don't know, just start drinking, smoking, partying, and they don't look at the learning
Well,
process
it's
of the things
very
that they can
difficult.
learn from it.
It's difficult to look at what the lesson is in something until later. Hindsight is always 2020, right? So that's partly why I came up with this coaching modality, because people need to look at their whole selves. You're more than your role at work. You're more than your role at home. You're a whole person. So whole person wellness, total person wellness is so super important to me. And this breath framework modality really takes people to from their begin delving into who they are as people with all of the hats that they wear and getting them to their truth, their place of personal freedom where they can align with their authenticity and know who they really are. And once you can show up authentically, your whole world changes.
Absolutely. Can you tell us about your company?
Sure. So I started this company as I was leaving my executive MBA a couple years ago, and I have created this LinkedIn following. I have like a really good engaged following on LinkedIn just from posting and sharing about myself. And as I've built this company, I've shared more and more with my LinkedIn family. That's what I call them because they're really truly my people. And the support has just been incredible. Sidebar, if anybody's starting a business or wants to gain awareness, LinkedIn is where it's at. That's like my favorite platform. It's the most accepting group of people I've ever known in my life. And we're talking about tens of thousands of people, not just like a small amount. So I started this company. I started coaching one or two people. I got connected to a big corporation. I started coaching in corporate. I would use this breath framework 6-month modality, this program, this curriculum that I created to work them through again from their begin to their heal. And as I do this, I heal. So it's like I'm healing with the people that I'm coaching. So it's a constant modality of healing for both of us. And I'm also an intuitive. So I feel things from people almost like an empath. I feel things from people as I'm coaching them, as I look at them, as I look in their eyes, I can feel their essence. So we dig into their purpose, their essence, authenticity, vulnerability, compassion, figuring out their core values. Because I have to tell you, core values is such a big part of what I do and what I teach and such a basis in my company. And I will tell you that many, if not most people do not know what their core values are. They might think they do, but they don't know what they truly are. And when you're not aligned with your core values, everything else in your life is misaligned. So what I try to do with my company, and now I have a team of 8 coaches that work with me. What we're doing is we're meeting blocked professionals, people that want to heal and move to a place of personal freedom, their soul center, their wholeness, figuring out who they really are, what's their purpose and mission in this life. And we get them there in this 6-month program.
I love it. Let's talk about the breath framework. I know you're a co-creator of that. Let's talk about the whole thing in general of it, because I found it was very interesting because I never see anything like that, especially when you use the framework behind it. I'm like, breathe. Okay, so she's gonna make me do some yoga. I got it. So okay, we're walking here, but I get to the framework and I'm like, okay, she's gonna frame me. Okay, so how do I breathe and be framed at the same time? So now let's walk us through the whole system so we can have a better understanding of the whole, because it sounds very amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. It is. It's truly one of the most impactful things that I've ever seen, just from witnessing the people that we coach every day and the impact that it's making on them. B is for begin where you are. So I will wrap up in a nutshell what each letter means. So begin where you are is truly where you meet the people where they are. Oftentimes when they come to you to get coached and they start talking, they don't really know where they're beginning. So there's a whole step and delving process into finding out where it is you're beginning. And everybody begins somewhere different. So I don't ever start coaching where I am. I meet my coachees where they are. And that's super important. That's a super important step to figure out where these people really are beginning. Once we uncover that, we can move on to R, which is reclaiming their power. Oftentimes in life, most times in life, we do things not consciously and we give away our power. We give it by the verbiage that we use, how we talk, how we use our body language, how we speak, our interactions with people, our relationships, and then self-sabotaging behaviors, things that we do that some we know, some we don't. Escapisms, as you said, some people go party and drink and do drugs, or they blow off work, or whatever it may be. We figure out how to get that power back. Once we reclaim that power, we can move on to excavating the core values. And that's figuring out, what are your core values that make you you? What are the words? For example, my core values are the same as my company's. So they are love, freedom, perseverance, trust, and truth. Those are the core values that I run my company on and that I live into every single day of my life. So everything in my life is based around those core values at their root. That's what I'm anchored in. So when we excavate, that's how we find their anchor. Then we allow. Allowing is a really hard step because all of them are difficult, but it's not controlling anymore. So we inadvertently, in a lot of ways, hold on to the reins really tightly to things in our life. We try to control what's doing what, who's going where. I try to control outcomes of things, and we don't really have control over outcomes. So when we can let go, or at least loosen the reins a little bit, we can truly allow things to come and be as a part of our life. Once you allow and learn how to stop controlling everything or having people try to control you, you move to a through. Going through is a difficult step too, because going through is sitting in it, really sitting there and understanding, okay, I've now allowed, I now understand this piece of me and part of me and these things that form me and make me me. Now I need to go through what it really feels like, because so many people block their feelings. A lot of my coachees, most of them, will all of a sudden be getting emotional after a few weeks with me. And I'm like, that's because you're going through, you're feeling. Finally, you're feeling. And they, for so long, blocked those feelings because they were trying to control, and now they're allowing. Then we get to a place of heal. And I believe, I'm a firm believer, you're never fully healed. It's just like you're never fully evolved. So this is a constant process. But when you get to a place of heal, you kind of know more about who you are. You're aligned with your core values. You've taken your power back. You know what it is that are the pieces that make you you. And you reach this place of wholeness and personal freedom and fulfillment that you've never felt before. So that's really the framework and how it works.
Wow. It's like if you never really connected with yourself, this is the time you just get connected with every single part of you that you never think that was there in the first place. That's amazing.
Thank you. You're exactly right. It's connecting to others and connecting with self, that people just go through life through the motions and they don't know how to do it. And I teach them how to do that. So that's a really good observation.
So you believe in teaching and to be authentics and be the best self. So why is that important to you? Why do you feel like that's important to everybody actually?
Because I lived my life for many years not being my best self. And I believe that I can help people because I've gotten through this myself. I can really help people find their best version of themselves and be that person, live into and act as that person, as their best self. It's really important because then you can actually find fulfillment versus just going through the motions. You can find contentment versus complacency. You can find ways to enjoy the moment that you're in. Just be in this moment. Like, I used to be all over the place, but right now I am in this moment with you, focused just on you. It's just you and me. I know there's other people that are going to watch and read this, right? But I am just me and you right here. And I am this focused because I've done the work. I have the ability to be the best version of me that shows up for you during our interview. And the only reason I'm able to do that is because of the breath framework.
Absolutely. And do you think that something like that, because there's a lot of people, okay, let's go, there's a lot of people that want to start a business or even grow their businesses. Do you think that not being the best self can possibly stop them, especially like, do I want to do this? Am I capable of doing that? Do I have the knowledge? Do I have the skills that I need? Or can I even afford it? And you have all this that thought that go into your head. You hit your job, you're trying to get out of it, and you want to start that business, but you can't. So would you say that if someone go to your program, that program can help them to understand themselves, to overcome all these fears that they are facing, to actually create something that can help other people but also help themselves?
I think that's a great question. And I would answer it by saying a lot of the things you're talking to are pointing to imposter syndrome, which is something that, if in case somebody's reading or listening that doesn't know, it's when you really, this isn't the technical definition, but it's my definition, when you really don't believe that you feel like a fraud. You feel like you're going to be found out as a fraud. I've had it. Everyone I've coached has had it. I mean, it's definitely very common. And it's just that voice and tape in your head that you hear sometimes that pulls you back and goes, no, 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 you can't do this. No, 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 you're not smart enough. No, no, no. How do you get off being a coach? You don't know how to be a coach. Why do you think you're going to get your EMBA? You're not smart enough to do that. These people are smarter. Everybody's better, right? But what we learn to do is make a new tape. It's rewiring your brain so that little voice goes, oh, yes, you can. Oh, I am enough. Oh, I'm smart enough. Oh, watch me. And that's how the breath framework can get you to be the best version of yourself. And that's how you can say, okay, I'm going to go find a new career. I'm going to start this business. I'm going to get a new job. I'm going to get in a healthy relationship out of a non-healthy relationship. I'm going to be the best mother or father I can be. That's where I can sort of meet people where they are and kind of show them, let's rewire, let's retape that tape in your head. Let's run a different tape. And we learn how to, again, rewire their brain so that that voice in their head is a different voice.
So you also, let's talk about a little bit about soul center. That is something I feel like that's very important to you. Because you use that a lot. So living in your soul center, how does someone get to do that? How do you do
So
that?
it takes work. The soul center, again, is a place of wholeness. It's alignment with your core values. It is one with who you are and what it is you're doing here, your mission and your purpose. And it's reaching a place of true personal freedom. Those are places that's a hard place to get to if you don't do the work. If you just live your life every day and go through the motions, it's very hard to be soul centered. But I will tell you that when you do this work with us, this breath framework program, you will I don't want to say, I don't guarantee because I don't want to ever say that. But I
Right.
will tell you, I've yet to have an experience, and I've been doing this for a couple of years, with anybody that didn't get to a place where they said, I see what you mean. But until you're there, you kind of don't know. You don't really know that you're missing it sometimes, but you might feel stuck, or you might feel like something's off, or you're just not where you want to be, but you don't know how to get there. That's what my program gets you to. It gets you to that place of the soul centered. And it's so important because it's living your best life. It's being your best self. So you can be the mother, daughter, friend, aunt, CEO, employee, whatever that you want to be. You can be that person that you want to be. And that's where I am. I'm sitting in my soul center. Finally, I'm 43 and a half. I'm sitting in my soul center, and I've worked so hard to get here. That part of why I do what I do and how I do it well is because I relate on so many levels to these people that I'm coaching. I've been there. I have felt like an imposter. I have felt not good enough. I have felt like I didn't have security. I have felt financially unstable. I have felt like just couldn't put one foot in front of the other because I was that stuck. I know what it feels like. So it's not the same as somebody who comes in and is like read this in a book and is trying to coach people. This is my true life experience. So when you say to me, you bring authenticity, right? Because that's my whole world. If I don't bring me as my true self, why bother?
It's like you're not coaching from Google. You're coaching from the real life, the thing that you actually went through in life, the one that hit you in the face and hit you in the other face. You fall down, you get up, and you get matched by it. So it's all the things that you actually, that's your life.
Yes.
So the fact that it's your life, so it's easy for you to take your foot and put in their shoes and understand what that person is going through right now at this moment and be able to help them. But also one thing I realized also when you say that you cannot promise is, you're right, you cannot promise that they're gonna get result, but I think it got a lot to do with the person as well. If they come to you for help, they have to be willing to give all of themselves to accept that help. And not everybody, sometimes I feel like people don't want to accept it. They reach out forward, but they don't want to take it.
You're exactly right. And I think that's part of meeting them where they are. When you're good at this and you get better as I continue to do this, I get better at it. Meeting somebody where they are is so important, because when you're trying to meet them over here or over here, it's going to miss. You're going to miss. You need to stand where they are and meet them where they are so that you understand, yeah, this is tough stuff. You might not really want to do it. You might not want to write a letter to your father of things you never said before, but you need to say today. That might not be a fun activity for you, but you will get out of this program and what we do, what you put into it.
So let's talk a little bit about the team that you have or you work with. So you work with a team of coaches, but what led you to take all that experience and pass it on to other people as well?
I just know that having a team and being on a collective mission and having a collective vision of breathing life and breath into people to heal and elevate souls is a team thing to do. It's only going to help me and guide me to a place of succeeding in this vision and mission when I have really strong, amazing people with me. So I have a team of warriors that has followed me, from this little tiny startup with nothing to now a growing revenue producing business. Where we make a profit and it's a real live business and we have real clients and it's not a pipe dream. It's real. And I wouldn't want to do it without my team. My team is so supportive and so incredible, and each person has their own gifts. That's my favorite part. When I think of, we've been doing dual coaching recently where somebody signs on for a 6-month program and I coach for half and then another one of my coaches coaches for half. And so the coachee gets the benefit of 2 gifts from 2 different coaches, and they get 2 angles, which is not something you see a lot in the coaching business, in the coaching world. So that's sort of another niche that we have found that is really working with people, because it gives you 2 angles, 2 gifts, 2 perspectives, and a way for the coachee to really grow and learn with different people with significant gifts.
Absolutely, I love that. That's different. So you're paying one amount of money and you're getting 2 different type of experience.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
So I know you have a book, and I'm excited. I know a bit about it, but I'm excited for you to tell everyone because I don't want to tell. So, so can you tell us about the book? Begin
Sure.
with the Breath.
So Begin with the Breath is a collaborative book from my coaches and me. And what I did was I wrote the introduction. So I explained my story of breath and how it started, which I just told you, and how it got me to how I basically began, reclaimed my power, excavated my core values, allowed, went through and healed. And then how I met the team and how we built this business and what breath means to me as a word and as a framework and as a modality of healing. And then each of my coaches wrote a chapter on what breath framework has done or means to them in their life. So it's a book where it's broken up into everybody's gifts are included and everybody gets to tell a little bit of their story. And then that's the whole thing. So we did it together. It's my first book. It was an amazing experience just to learn more. You know, as you read these people's stories, there's things that I didn't know before. I learned so much. And the fact that like breath framework was mine, I created that. And then these people are saying in their chapter how it's influenced them and impacted their lives was just, so that part was really, really cool. So that's what the book's about. And it's available on Amazon.
A question that I have for you, but anyway, if anyone want to get that book, you should, because I really want to read it. Now, listening to her talking about all of these people experience, now I'm just curious. Now I have to read it. Now, I cannot get her to tell you everything about her life in 30 minutes, but definitely buying the book, you can learn everything about
You
her
can
life.
learn a lot of
So,
stuff. Yeah.
yes. So I'm excited to get the book. But also, one thing that I just realized, you created the breath framework, right? But you don't take the whole credit for it. Why not?
So I had a business partner at one point. We have parted ways and he's gone on to do his own thing, which I completely support. But we created Mike Paterano, and was my business partner, and we created Breath Framework together. So we met on LinkedIn and partnered up to do business. We thought of breath was like my word I came to the table with, but we thought of all of it together and created the curriculum together. So even though we don't work together anymore, I would never take all the credit. I want to give credit where credit is due. I think that's really important because we worked really hard together to come up with this concept, and I would want to give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely. I love that. So, you have a team working with you. How does it feel to be a leader and managing a team of people that's you have to lead them to the right direction, but also keeping them in peace with with themselves as well to commit to their job and do it the proper way? How does that work with you?
What I will tell you is to tie it into what we're talking about. The more I am aligned with my core values and my true self, my authentic self, the more I understand my purpose and my essence, the more I can be vulnerable and be truthful and lean into my strengths. That's how I lead. My team knows that. I don't pull any punches. I'm very transparent. I tell them when we're doing well, when we're not, what we need. Everyone is so supportive and understands that this is a mission and a vision to impact and elevate humanity. This is not just for a couple of people we want to coach. This is truly to bring breath framework to the world and have it impact people to make them the best version of themselves. If I stay within that mission and vision and continue to be my best self, I can be a really good leader. But
Absolutely.
it is not easy. It's not easy to have a startup and, you're not paying people salaries. They're just banking on the fact that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. And that you have to have people that really strongly believe in the same thing together collectively. And that's what we have that's so brilliant, are just really strong, intuitive coaches that each have their gifts and believe in this mission that we're on. That's the beauty of this team.
But not only that, one thing that listening to you talking, also your expression, I like to read people. So I feel like you also have a passion in each one of them as well. So you believe in them, you have that passion in them. It's not just them believe in your mission and you, but also you also believe in them. And I think that's what make you a bit different.
Thank you. I agree with you. I fully believe in them. If you're on this team, you know where you stand, you know your gifts, you know what I think of you, you know my passion, like you said, about you, you know that we're all in this together. I'm not I'm the CEO and you're work for me. It's not, we're a team together. And I do believe in them. And I love how each one of my coaches has their own gift to help to elevate the person that they're coaching. It's truly incredible. They're such brilliant people that I respect and admire. So yes, I do have a passion for them as well.
Yes, I can see that in you, which is very amazing.
Thank
Starting
you.
a business can be overwhelming and stressful. And what were the main challenges you faced when you're starting out?
Right when you're starting, the main challenge is getting engagement and getting awareness about your brand. So, getting people to know, who are you? Who's this person? That's great that you have this message, but what's your message? What's your branding? What are you saying? How are you getting people to become aware? So my platform was LinkedIn. So I spent a solid year engaging every day for several hours on LinkedIn with other people's posts and forming relationships and setting up virtual coffees and meetings to get to know these people so that they would believe in my mission and vision. So tightening up exactly what it is you're doing is super important. And that takes time and patience. So the biggest challenge is having the patience and believing in yourself that I'm bringing this to the table and this is going to truly impact people versus, I don't know, I'm not sure. That's where my coaching comes in, where I can show people I've done this and you can do this too. You can believe in yourself and do it too. Because every day is not like, no one's telling me to get out of bed. I mean, my kids, but like, no one's telling me to get up and go to work. I could watch TV or TikTok all day, but where's that going to get me? Right. So, like, I have to believe in what I do truly and that I'm going to grow this and make an impact in order to do this the way I do it every day. So a challenge is that self-belief, that self-knowing, that self-worth, finding that and applying that in your life.
I love it, and that's actually, you're right. That is one of the biggest. And I remember me, even with everything, even with the idea of formal, even with finding the right people to work with and connecting with the right people. It was a lot of work, and sometimes I won't lie. Sometimes I feel like I want to give up. I cry a lot in my bed. I stay in the bed. I cry, but a lot of time I think my psychology. I use my own psychology on myself. I do that a lot, and I have to push myself. Like, well, you can stay in that bed and cry all day long, but where is it gonna get you? Like you said, nowhere. So you
Nowhere.
gotta step up and then just give it a shot. That's the all. At least you know you try. And I think that's one thing my grandpa always taught me is that it's to always try, because if you don't try it, you won't
You're going to get
know.
anything. Yeah. Agreed.
So what's next for you and the company?
We're going to continue to scale and grow. We're signing on new companies and corporations as we speak to work with new teams in corporate to help these Black professionals to get to a place of healing and wholeness. But I'm going to take a step back from all the coaching and do more CEOing. So, me forming and doing some key speaking engagements and, getting my brand more out to the world while my team of amazing coaches is actually doing the coaching of the breath framework. So that's where the vision is going. I think that coaching is so near and dear to my heart. It's not something that I can just give up, and I don't want to, but it's going to become less on my plate with that and more on the actual growth of the company.
Absolutely, and I totally understand, because you do have to go out there to build it if you want it to go bigger and bigger. Do you have any plan to go international eventually?
It's funny that you asked that. I have a global team. So I have a coach that's in Sweden. So we work with people everywhere. I have coaches in Toronto, in Canada. So we work globally. So we have people that can meet you at any time zone, and we do everything virtually. So I can coach anywhere. But yeah, I mean, of course. And um, I'm also a volunteer for the Healthcare Businesswomen's Association. I'm the director of social media and PR, the regional director in the Mid Atlantic region, and that's an international company. So if they know about my brand, they know it everywhere. So it's definitely not a U.S. thing. I am not opposed to coaching in other countries and speaking and just getting my name out there and
I
message.
have I have a question for you though that just popped up in my head. Um, every nationality, every race deal with different type of suffering
Absolutely.
in life, and sometimes some of us suffer more than others,
Yes.
and sometimes might need more healing. So I was trying to figure it out if you have a different healing process for that.
No, I
Uh,
mean, that's an interesting way of looking at it. It's definitely something we could look into as far as like breaking up programs like that. One thing I will tell you is I think that men and women are a little bit different. So I think separating them when we do group programs, separating men and women is smart to do because they heal and learn and take in messages differently. So separating where, however they identify as a man or a woman, whatever they're comfortable with, I think we could do separation like that. But other than that, it's pretty. Everybody's mixed
the
up.
same thing.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, don't. Okay. Sound good. So, what's your advice for female founders who starting out?
absolutely. Look into applying for an accelerator, startup accelerator program. I am in Get Shit Done. It's an accelerator 7-week,
I
a
like it.
7-week accelerator program that's run by CEO Alex Batdorf, and it is incredible. I'm halfway through it, and it is blowing my mind what it's teaching me. And I'm meeting other women founders in this group, and we're working together with past cohorts of this accelerator program, as well as our current cohort, to grow our businesses. And it's just been an amazing experience. So it is one of the first pieces of advice I would say, not when you have an idea, when you have a company that's sort of up and running, look into an accelerator that can help you scale your business. The other advice I would say is never stop working on yourself. So always stay in your self-belief and your self-worth. And if you need help with that, you know where to come because I can
Oh
help you with
yeah.
that. But I have to stay strong. And there are days, like you said, where I don't want to get out of bed, but I just do. And I do because I believe in myself as a person. I believe in my mission and I believe in the impact this is having on people. That's what lights me up. The mission and vision to impact humanity and elevate them. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning. So find the thing that lights you up about what you do and go for it.
Absolutely. I love it, Annie, and thank you for being you.
Thank you. I
Like the
appreciate
real
that.
you.
Thank you.
I feel like if I'm a fan of you right now in person, that's who I'm meeting. It's the same person. Nothing changed, either virtual or in person. And I love that about you. You are you. And then please don't ever let anyone change that. Stay who you are.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Your words mean a lot to me. Thank you so much.
What I like about Annie, she is real. She tells it the way it is. And that's what we need from a coach. Someone that will tell us the truth and help us grow to be the best we can be. The breathe framework is a unique technique, and what it stands for is incredible. The most important part that I like is H, heal your soul. Some of us can use the breathe framework. If you need someone to help you find your true purpose in life, remember to reach out to Annie. Thank you, Annie, for taking the time to have this conversation with me, and thank you for listening to this week's episode. Let me know your thoughts about this episode and how you found your true purpose in life. To learn more about Annie and her company, visit www.annieleib.com. Thank you for listening to Female Founders Podcast. That's it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app or connect with us on womel.com so that you don't miss our next episode. See you next time. Bye for now.